Charleston White has the whole internet losing it right now, like seriously mad, and it's all because of what he said about Kairen Lacy. If you don't know who Kairen Lacy is, he was a rising college football star, a real talent headed straight for the NFL. But just before his big break, everything came crashing down. He got arrested for negligent homicide, shocking everyone.
Well, tonight, former LSU wide receiver Kairen Lacy turned himself in on charges related to a hit and run that killed a man. Lacy declared for the draft after graduating in December. Now he could be charged with negligent homicide. Good evening and thanks so much for watching. I'm Whitney Miller.
The internet can't stop talking about it, and the drama's getting wilder every minute. Kairen was shining in college, a real star on the field. He was projected to go late first round or maybe early second.
Lacy bonded out of jail less than 2 hours after turning himself in. We were the only news outlet there as he arrived at the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. You can see him enter the building and speak with several state troopers, then get led to the back. The crash happened last month in Chack Bay. State police say a Dodge Charger was driving southbound on Highway 20. The driver sped up and crossed into the northbound side to pass multiple cars in front of them, even though it was a no passing lane. A car in the northbound lane stopped to avoid being hit, which caused...
But after this crazy incident, everything changed. People still had hope he'd make the NFL, maybe in the later rounds or even undrafted. But hope was fading fast. Nobody actually knew the full truth at first. It was Kairen Lacy's word against the eyewitnesses. When the cops showed up, 2 witnesses pointed straight at him, saying he was the one behind the wheel, swerving like wild and causing the crash that flipped everything upside down. So let's fast forward. This all went down in December, right? Now it's April, just 11 days before the NFL draft, the moment Kairen was supposed to find out his fate. Would he finally get drafted or have to grind his way in through a practice squad or free agency? Everyone was waiting to see. But tragedy struck hard. Just 11 days before the draft, Kairen Lacy sadly ended his own life after another intense incident. It started with a heated argument involving a family member where he fired a shot into the ground. That scared everyone, and they called the police. When officers arrived, Kairen had taken off in his car, and by the time they found him, it was already too late. Here's the thing. The whole tragedy that ended Kairen's life started right after he pulled a gun on a family member, fired it into the ground, and then took off in that police chase.
LSU wide receiver who was facing criminal charges in Louisiana died during a police pursuit right here in Houston. Now here's what the Harris County Sheriff's Office is telling us tonight. It started after 11 Saturday night. Deputies with the Precinct 4 Constable's Office were called to a weapons disturbance. Apparently, Lacy was having an argument with a family member when he fired a gun into the ground. Now, by the time deputies arrived, Lacy had left.
But a lot of people strongly believe, and honestly, they're not wrong for thinking this, that Kairen might still be alive today if he hadn't been accused of negligent homicide.
20 minutes later, a unit spotted Lacy's vehicle and tried to stop him. There was a chase that went on for several miles, but ended when Lacy crashed along Aldine Westfield Road. When deputies were getting him from the vehicle, they found what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. HCSO believes the shot was fired during the chase. We're told an autopsy will be conducted on Lacy's body. Also, the Civil Rights Division of the Harris County District Attorney's Office will review the results of the investigation once it's finished, which is
If that arrest never happened, he probably wouldn't have felt like this family incident was his breaking point. He was already pushed to the edge, feeling like everything was crashing down around him. That's the sad truth, and people were furious when new evidence came out proving Kairen Lacy wasn't even responsible for that deadly crash. Turns out, he was actually about 75 yards away from where it all happened, nowhere near the chaos that cost those lives. From the accident, there's just no way he could have caused it, meaning that arrest was completely false. And when people found that out, it set the internet on fire. Everyone was furious, calling out the injustice loud and clear. Folks flooded social media demanding accountability for everyone involved in this mess. One person said, "Tyler Warner deserves jail time for his role in the death of Kairen Lacy." False accusations and shady investigation tactics directly pushed Kairen to the edge. He shouldn't be a cop anymore. Straight up. Despicable. Another user fired off saying, "We need a Kairen Lacy Act." They said cops who lie on records and use pressure tactics should face prison time. People really believe the police coerced that witness into naming Kairen's vehicle just to close the case. Someone else even posted a picture of the DA, blasting them in the caption for letting this whole thing slide without real justice. This is the DA in the Kairen Lacy case, the one who still pushed charges even after seeing all the evidence. Hashtag Kairen Lacy, hashtag justice.
A recent interview on Homa TV, former LSU football star Kairen Lacy's attorney, Matt Ory, says data and surveillance video shows Lacy was more than 70 yards away from a collision on State Highway 20 in Lafourche Parish that killed 78-year-old Herman Hall in December of 2024.
At the time of impact, he's 72.6 yards behind the vehicles at the time of impact.
Following that wreck, Lacy was...
People were losing it online. One user even said they hope Kairen's family bankrupts the entire state of Louisiana for what they put him through. Unbelievable, right?
Accused of being at fault for the crash and turned himself into state police in January on counts of negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle. At the time of his arrest, Louisiana State Police stated that Lacy, who was driving a green Dodge Charger, illegally passed multiple vehicles, causing a vehicle traveling in the opposite direction to avoid Lacy by swerving and crashing head-on into the vehicle that Herman Hall was a passenger in. Ory says Lacy was too far away to have any effect on the crash.
Kairen Lacy.
Most folks agree Kairen was dealt one of the worst hands ever, and that's exactly why he's no longer here with us. Even big names like Van Lathan jumped in, posting, "This makes me so angry." The whole internet felt that pain, man. And honestly, this was one of those rare topics where nearly everyone was on the same side. No politics, no division, just pure outrage and heartbreak. But of course, there was one exception: Charleston White. While people were still mourning Kairen Lacy, Charleston popped out with a totally opposite take on the situation, sparking a whole new wave of controversy. And here's what he had to say about it.
You talking about it was meant for him to die. He's not going to hell. Anybody who commits is going to where, boys and girls? Hey, where he's going to ride in, boys and girls? Kairen Lacy will ride in hell. You don't let no white man. Hurricane Carter went to jail. The box went to jail for murder he didn't even commit. Guess what he did? Went in the cell in the box. Told him white folks I ain't putting no uniform.
Austin has openly bragged before about making millions off race baiting and getting under people's skin. But this time, it's different. Way different.
They put him in the hole. What he did, talk to himself. You don't yourself. Fuck that weak ass. And fuck anybody who feeling sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for no nigga that'll go against his nature and kill himself. He don't mean us no good as a fuck him. Fuck his football team, whoever. You think if I won't say Charlie Kirk, I won't say self-hanging ass. We make that white.
We're talking about a young man's death, something deeply sensitive and heartbreaking. Kairen Lacy wasn't out here causing trouble. He wasn't in the streets. He wasn't gang-banging. He was a hard-working football player chasing his dream.
Boy, hang you. You make him wrongly convict you. You make the white boy kill you. You don't kill yourself. You don't make the white man kill you. You don't kill yourself. So fuck that. So don't bring that weak ass African American to a real. No real nigga gonna hang himself, kill himself, stab himself. He might jack his off.
That's why this situation hits so hard. There's no real win in this kind of talk. No payoff worth the pain it's causing. The people grieving Kairen online aren't the type to fuel this kind of outrage for clicks or views. It's not like the usual race-baiting drama, where if you target one side, say Republicans, you've got another side ready to cheer you on and fill your pockets. Here, there's no side to profit from, just pain and loss, and that's what makes this so wrong. If you're race baiting off names like King Von or other fallen rappers, there's always a crowd ready to cash in on the drama. Hip-hop fans who are anti-street or anti-gang will hype you up for it. But the Kairen Lacy situation, this one's totally different. It's not about the streets. It's about straight-up injustice. There's no fan base cheering for this take. No Back the Blue group waiting to rally behind it. Still, Charleston White kept pushing that same energy. He went as far as saying F Kairen Lacy's mom, which is absolutely insane and disrespectful. That comment had people fuming online, furious that he'd go that low. He even doubled down, saying F his mom and anyone standing with him. Charleston's so-called reason? He claimed Kairen's way of going out was weak, like he didn't fight hard enough. That statement blew everything up even more, and the internet went wild with outrage. He said if Kairen really believed he was innocent, he should have fought it out. But come on, not everyone's built the same. Not everybody's got that kind of mental strength to face nonstop pressure like that. Sometimes the weight gets too heavy and it breaks even the strongest ones. And honestly, shaming someone after they've passed, that's not the move. We should be having open, real talks about mental health, not tearing people down when they're gone. This situation is sad enough already. After Charleston White made those cold comments about Kairen Lacy, social media exploded. One user named Tavia Kwan posted, "Boy, I can't wait till they catch this dude." People were beyond furious. Another user tweeted, "Cancel him already. I'm tired of his nonsense." The outrage was massive, and timelines were full of anger and disbelief. But here's the crazy part, and the reason Charleston White stays trending. It's nearly impossible to fully cancel him. Somehow, no matter how wild his takes get, he keeps finding a way to stay relevant. Charleston White has managed to offend just about every group out there. Nobody's safe. But here's the thing. His money doesn't come from YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter. Nope. Charleston's whole hustle runs off jumping on other people's platforms and stirring the pot. He brings the chaos, and that chaos brings the views. That's his whole game. He'll sit down with your favorite hosts and drop wild, controversial takes that make people tune in, argue, and share it everywhere. That's why he stays booked and trending. So yeah, canceling Charleston White, practically impossible. His whole brand is built on being unapologetically disagreeable. The moment he starts playing nice, the views stop, and those big interviews with guys like Cam Newton, Patrick Bet David, or Say Cheese won't hit the same anymore. People don't watch him for peace. They watch because they know he's gonna say something shocking every time. Even reacting to him is how Charleston White gets paid. That's literally his hustle. He feeds off outrage, so every angry comment just boosts his reach. Now this one user went off in pure rage, dropping a wild rant online. They said, "I hope you only fool, can't even lie. I know it's not right. You weird and on meth, thinking that what you're doing is cool. I really hope somebody burn your M gang. You a weird hot. Yeah, that went too far." And honestly, I can't co-sign that last part at all. I don't wish harm on Charleston White, not even a little. I got no bad blood, no hate, no dark energy toward him. Truth be told, he's said some smart things in the past, but this time, nah. He's 100% wrong about Kairen Lacy. It's way too soon. And the timing makes it sting even more. I get why people are mad. I really do. But fighting hate with hate never makes things better. Sometimes you gotta step back, breathe, and not give him the chaos he's chasing. And that's the full story, man. A heartbreaking situation that turned the whole internet upside down. Kairen Lacy's name deserves to be remembered for who he truly was, not just for the drama that followed. This whole thing shows how fast people can twist a story and how hard the truth fights to come out. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story like this. Big updates coming soon. Stay tuned. It's about to get crazy.